Got another driving video here. So obviously you guys saw the title, which based on my experience, when I do talk about not being political, it starts arguments. And I had a request this morning from Ryan Hanks. He said, could you please make a video about your political views sometime? It'd help your audience get to know you better. So that's what I'm doing. And going back to the beginning where I said it, it can cause arguments and conflicts, and I'm generally conflict avoidant. We need to set the tone. Let's put an air freshener up. It's gonna be like, lighting a candle in a house, but I don't think you can do that in a car. So we're gonna hang one of these up, and it's gonna smell like Vanilla-Rama. I wanna lighten the air, and this is not I'm not trying to go into a heavy debate. I mean, by all means, you guys can feel free in the comment section and things like that. But so my thing is with this, and also I have my seatbelt on. Last time I made a video, I got blasted by my kid. A bunch of you in the comment section about not having a seatbelt, not having my hands at 10 and 2. I mounted my camera this time to the windshield, and last time I was holding it, and when I have to talk passionately about something, I sometimes use my hands to make some points or whatever. So this time now I have a free hand. So now I can at least put my hand on the wheel, and so hopefully you guys won't attack. So going into the topic. Also I have free time. This is the first time this year that I'm actually working in my home state, so I actually can drive to my job, which gives me the free time to make a video here before I actually walk into the plant. So on politics, right? I am not political. I'm not. I rarely vote. And when I say that is a trigger for the heavily political ones to just go off on me.
You live in America and you don't vote? Like, what's wrong with you? You're given these freedoms to do things and this and that, and you're not using them? That's completely ridiculous.
Well, I mean, yes, it's true. Living in America is said to be the land of opportunity, and just, you can make your own decisions. You have the freedom to vote. Some countries, it's mandatory to vote. Here, you can or you can't. And with those given things, there's a lot of things that, yes, I might be not jumping into the political stuff, but I'm also doing things that you might not be doing, or those people might not be doing, or whatever. And that goes with all of us. We're not doing every little thing that's available to us in this world, or else we'd be some kind of... You don't have any time for that. But there's so many opportunities that you're given. If you apply your energy to the political world and things like that, there's value there. This video is not to say that it's not a valuable thing and we don't need politics, but in my view, there's people for that. There's politicians. That's their job. That's something they're into. It's like MBTI. Not everyone is into this MBTI personality stuff. And a lot of people I talk to, they think, they'll call you out. That's stupid. So I don't push MBTI on people that, I rarely even bring it up in conversations with when I don't really know you, because I just know that it's something I'm into. So if it somehow casually goes into that, then yeah, I'll talk about, oh yeah, you know what? I'm passionate about that stuff. That's something I'm into. But you can say that people are more into politics than they are with MBTI or personality or self-awareness, self-growth, self-help, whatever. They're more into that political stance, and that's fine. Like, that's what I'm saying. The whole outlook on this whole thing is, I'm not, I try to encourage people to, like what they like, just be into what you're into. And that's really how you find that happiness within yourself and through life, is because there's a lot of bad stuff in this world. And if you keep doing all the stuff that you don't want to do, that your friend or your buddy wants to do, like, oh, I don't really like politics, but since everyone's calling me out and they're into politics, I think I should be too. So I know that I'm not into politics, so you're not gonna sway me. I'll listen to your opinions. If you want to talk about it, that's fine, but don't expect me to like hang on to a conversation, and I'm probably gonna try to get out of it. The same way I look at if I bring up MBTI and I realize that you're not into it, I'm going to realize this and I'm going to stop talking because it's something that I see you're not into, so I'm not going to push it on you. And that's all it is for me, is when I bring these things up with these people, and there's plenty of heavy INFP political INFPs in our community, and that's completely fine. It's not, I'm not, you know, if it comes to a bunch of people like leaving me because of this video, that's not the intention. It's just basically my whole goal of this, or not the goal, it's just I'm trying to, you know, I want to answer a question that was in the comments for me this morning. It's fresh in my head, so again, if I don't, you know, jump on it now, then if I let it sit for a couple days, I probably just won't talk about it at all. So that's a big thing with me. It's like, you know, again, if I'm inspired or something triggers me to, and I have time, this just happened to be convenient where I had time this morning, then I will, I need to do it, or else there's just going to be no content, period. And some people might be appreciative that there's no content, I don't know. But no, it's like with all the politics and things like that, like, so again, like I've heard of different views of where, you know, a lot of the INFPs, they go into the politics with just wanting, they're all conflict avoidant in a sense too, naturally. But it's also can be seen as they want to be a justice for, you know, the extreme sides of one another. Like, I don't know what a leftist is, like, at all. I know Student of Rhythm, you probably call me out on that one because I hear you say leftist a lot, but no, I personally, honestly, obviously I have the access to the internet and I can go Google it, but I never have, and I hear it all the time when you talk about politics and leftists. I don't think they're rightists. I don't know. I don't know what a leftist means. I don't. Can I look it up? Yeah, sure, but I hear about it and I just let you guys play in the world of all those things. I'm trying to learn other things. You're applying your time elsewhere where I'm applying my time on things I enjoy, and that's all it really is. I don't really enjoy when a person, again, when we get passionate about something, even me, if I get passionate, I will put my foot down at times, because we're all susceptible to like really having a stance, especially how deep we can get with things and what we believe in, our FI, and, you know, the values that are tied to us. If someone steps on those like a little bug, then we have the tendency to flare up. So I'm not saying that I'm not someone who's gonna stand up for something I believe in. So again, I can totally commend and appreciate, you know, you guys having the exact same thing if politics happens to be something you are into. But at the same time, I also like when it's more of an open thing. So if I know I'm going down, putting my foot down and just going, I will try to, you know, acknowledge this and back off. So, oh, you know, okay, hold on, step back a little bit. But I can see how it can be, I don't know, but it's, if you guys have, I'm interested to know, because again, I'm completely ignorant and I've kept myself away from politics for a reason. I know there's a good bit of you that are into it, so I'm really interested to see, like, if you guys put down in the comments why you're into it and what's your thing, because I know it's not because you enjoy the game playing and things like that. I know that's not what it is, but I am curious to know what your stance is on it and why you're into it, because I don't see it. Like, all I see is like, I can smell bull within 5 seconds of talking to somebody. I'm very good at it, and there's a lot of it out there. And I really enjoy, you know, truthful, honest things out of people. And the experiences I've had with politics and in the work world and politics, and, you know, in general, is there's a lot of like games, and you see a lot of corruption on the news, and like how there were thousands of votes that were fake added to the ballots or whatever. I don't even know if that's proper terminology, the ballots and all that stuff. I see a lot of that's just my personal experience. If I see areas in life that have a lot of dishonesty and just falseness and things like that, I'm gonna go the other way. I want my life to be full of honesty, which you're not gonna get that. You can't get 100% of that all the time. But if I have control to limit that, then why would I personally jump into the political world when I don't think anyone on here, even if you are political, will disagree that it's heavily like game playing. So not to saying that it's not needed, and not that we don't, but that's what I'm saying. I feel that there's a lot of people that are into that, and I let them go do that. You know, it's like, that's, you guys are good at it, I'm not, so by all means, have the floor and do whatever you guys do to keep the country running, and just, you know, do all the things that you feel are important. And I'm going to go over here and do all this stuff, which you might not care about, but it's something I'm into, and I can provide value to this community or, you know, world in this fashion. So again, that's what it is. If you're doing something that you're not into or passionate about, you're not going to contribute the best you possibly can as a person. And that's the thing. We can do everything. Like everything, even if you're not into something, you can do it. It doesn't mean you can't do something. If you get put in a situation where you have to do something, if you have to talk in front of people, if you have to do whatever, you can do it. Just because you're an INFP doesn't mean you can't put yourself in front of a video and make YouTube videos. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. It just means that you're not necessarily going to be that great at it at first, because it's not something that's natural to you, etc. So if politics are natural to you, then do it. You're going to make a big impact. Politics are not natural to me, so I'm naturally not going to do it. I'm going to apply myself elsewhere where I feel that I can make a better impact than there. Hopefully you guys don't see this as some kind of attack on it. I'm trying to convey it in an honestly non-confrontational, just I don't know what my message really is here, but it's just to kind of, you know, again, like what you like, do what you do, and just have an open mind to other people's perspectives. I have an open mind to your views. I mean, it's the same thing as opening your mind to mine or another personality type. It's just keeping all that open and just realizing that you can get a lot out of somebody else's side, you know, and their opinions in the matter. And it's just trying not to force your views, which we have an issue with that with our FI. But I don't generally think. I believe that we're very partial to what we're into and our values. But I don't think that generally a lot of us are going to sit there and try to force our values on other people, because I think generally we do want people to become their own selves, and if you're trying to, you know, inflict your values on another person, then they can't really be themselves. And so if we're trying to go down that path of, well, I want everyone to be true to themselves, and then also we're trying to put our stuff on them heavily, then I don't think that's the majority of us, with just how we're kind of built in our fabric and whatnot. All right, so okay, bye. So turning my camera back on because Ryan posted another comment and I have more time, so we'll just extend the length of this video. Again, going into this, I don't really know what to talk about or what political people want to actually hear me say. I don't know. So he threw out there, well, I'm curious as to your views on gun ownership related stuff like concealed carry, etc. Since you're both an INFP and ex-military dude from the heartland, would be curious to see how those conflicting influences shaped your views on gun-related topics. I know for a fact in the news, gun control is it's a highly sensitive, talked about subject as well. I was indeed in the military. I have been around guns like all my life. I grew up with my grandfather. He was a gun collector. He ran a lot of shooting matches, so he took me to a lot of those. So I was, you know, target shooting and things like that all my young. So in the military, I got expert marksman awards for my sharpshooting skills or whatever. So I'm comfortable around guns. They're not something that, again, I'm anti-violence in a sense, but I do feel that I do have some guns in my house and that's all they are. They're not, I don't go to the gun range and just want to start popping. That's not something I'm like, I'm going to go to the gun range and start shooting off guns because
I want to see things go bang.
But I do have home protection, and I do also have my concealed carry permit. I've never once concealed carried outside ever, but I do have my permit. I went through the class or whatever. Again, if those things were taken away from us, then yes, it would essentially affect me in the political stuff, but I do feel that we should also have the opportunity to protect ourselves. But And that's all it is. It's just having my gun collect dust up in my, wherever it's at, and just the means for me having the opportunity to defend myself for people that, with gun laws or without gun laws, the bad guys are still going to own guns regardless of whatever law passes and the politics and this and that. So you can look at it either way. I mean, the countries without gun control, countries with gun control, states with gun control, it goes, you can hear from different, gun violence is way different here. In my opinion, if you go to a state like Ohio or Texas, where even Texas, you have like open carry, where you can just have that stuff on your hip and everyone can see your gun. There's not even, I'm pretty sure that's still in effect right now, but you can just go down there like the Wild Wild West. And in my opinion, like, the bad guy is typically gonna take the path of least resistance. They're gonna break into the car where the door's unlocked. So if you go to a state or place where as a bad guy that people aren't armed or they don't have any protection, then I view that as a less than safe type environment. Because if a bad guy comes in knowing good and well that probably there's 20 people that are standing right next to you with guns on their hip, they're less likely to do something like that, opposed to going to a place that does have that or doesn't have that, whatever. So again, not to get into this, and again, sparking this conversation, this is a non-violent channel, but going into the politics of guns, this is just my opinion on it, and I agree that if the politicians and the stuff passed where we couldn't have guns, then to me, my opinion is that would not be a good thing. Like, that's how I look at it. But again, swerving all the way back into the topic of the video, if you guys feel that guns are bad and no one should own them and the world would be a better place without guns, by all means, that's your opinion. And I'm not one to say anything about that whatsoever. There's sides to every coin. Every single, you have valid points on that end, and I assure you that I have valid points on my end, and that's all it is. It's meeting that bridge in the middle to where it just opens our eyes up to different things, and that's really what it's about. It's just opening yourself up to different ideas and perspectives, because if you don't, then you're missing the full picture. Even though we might be big picture thinkers, you're still gonna miss things. You're gonna miss some of the logics and stuff like that. Whereas other people can open your eyes to that, and then when you have all that data, then you can really have a really accurate big picture view, more than you did when it was just you and your thoughts and your opinions. So again, okay, I'm done. Thanks, Ryan.